In the small sample size of 4 games into the season, the Spurs are yet to lose a game, which ties the Spurs record for the best start to a season from back in 2016 when they went on to win 61 games. So far, the Spurs lead the league in defensive rating, have the lowest opponent points per game, the second lowest opponent field goal percentage, second in rebounds per game, and third in blocks per game. The Spurs are now clearly, at the very least, a top 3 defensive team. Just last game, they held the Raptors to 20 rebounds total. That's the 7th lowest in the history of the NBA. That's quite a staggering turnaround for a team that just finished bottom 5 in defense last season. So what changed? There are some more obvious answers, but I'll get to Wembanyama later. This transformation didn't just happen overnight, and it takes more than just one defensive menace to make everything work. In 2024, they drafted Stephon Castle, who's quickly proven to be one of the best young defensive guards in the league. Last season, he made a name for himself by taking on the toughest matchups, even locking up players like Steph Curry as a rookie. He's incredibly quick on his feet laterally, allowing him to glue to his opponents, and his 6'9" wingspan allows him to disrupt shots and passing lanes. Steph is forcing opponents to make quick, stupid passes and tough shots. That kind of pressure at the perimeter has completely changed the way the Spurs defend. Stephon is now a certified starter and will be getting starter minutes. And then there's Carter Bryant, this year's rookie. So far, he hasn't made that much of an impact with just 7 minutes per game, but you can clearly see his potential in college and summer league. Looking at this rookie class, there aren't many prospects who have the same combination of footwork, awareness, strength, and explosiveness that Bryant has. He moves his feet incredibly well, sits in a stance, and can defend nearly any position on the court. Even though no one cares about Summer League, just watch these clips against the number 1 pick Cooper Flagg, where Carter Bryant holds him to just 3 from 12 from the field.
When he got to the rim, you've already had a couple of shot clock violations, a couple of balls fumbled in the paint as well. So Dallas' defensive intensity and pressure here early has been impressive.
Boy, look at the pressure being applied by Carter Bryant on Cooper Flagg. That handle better be tight tonight. He's about to take his cornbread and just did.
Especially with the new guys that we have, the guys that we brought back.
Before we move on to Wemby, the Spurs have also made sure there are no spaces on defense in this roster. Luke Kornet's rim protection and size, averaging 5 offensive rebounds a game alongside 1.5 blocks.
The decision, this is winds up being an early action block.
Vassell's perimeter defense, averaging 1.5 steals a night, and Jeremy Sohan, even though he's still out with a wrist injury, when he comes back, he's one of the most versatile young defenders in this league. Through the first 3 games of this season, Victor Wembanyama eclipsed more blocks than 25 entire other teams in the NBA. It's pretty obvious that Victor is the consensus best defender in the world. I mean, in my opinion, he's been the best defender in the world for the past 3 years now. We can look at his insane defensive statistics, such as his 4.8 blocks per game, along with his 1.5 steals per game, which is 6.3 stocks per game, which if kept up, would be the 3rd most in history behind David Robinson and Hakeem. We can look at his block percentage of 13.75%, which is nearly 4% higher than the previous record of 10.8% by Manute Bol. We can look at his defensive rebound percentage of 39.4%, which would also be the highest of all time. We can look at all that and we would still be selling his defensive game short. Just watch these blocks against Zion here.
Driving and swatted by Wembanyama. And swatted again.
Defensively.
Zion and Wemby was there again. Wembanyama, some strength, and Wembanyama.
Here he treats 7'2" Derek Lively like a child.
Lively denied emphatically by Wembanyama. Another one. And then sends that out of bounds.
There are just things that don't show up on the score sheet. just in his last game against the Raptors, someone who didn't watch the game at all would think he had an off night with 1 block. But in reality, watching the game, I couldn't even count the amount of times Raptors players drove in and avoided shooting the ball when they got even a glimpse of Wemby.
Spurs had a big lead last night against the Nets. Let's see them get Walter behind the back. And taps it out. Ingram now Mamu. And Mamu up. Crowd gets a little bit more juiced up. Barrett driving. Didn't want to challenge that time. Out of bounds off it. Brandon Ingram, 22 points per game. Passing down to Pirtle.
There is just simply nothing you can do against him. We have never seen a 7'5" player move this smoothly and this agile. If Wembanyama plays 65 plus games this season, he is without question the Defensive Player of the Year, even just 4 games into the season. Another important addition to this team hasn't even been on the court. Sean Sweeney has stepped in as assistant head coach, a guy known for his defense, especially on the Milwaukee Bucks and the 2024 Mavs, who made it all the way to the finals. His influence has clearly helped install and maintain the disciplined, versatile defensive scheme that we see on the court right now. In just 4 games, the Spurs have shown that their defensive resurgence isn't just a fluke. This will be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, and I'm certain Wemby will win that Depoy Award. Looking ahead, the Spurs won't just be a tough matchup, they will be a legit contender in the playoffs.
And now with the 4-0, Vic, would it surprise you to hear that that matches the best start in franchise history? It matches the best a Spurs team has ever started.
Spurs never went 5-0?
Spurs never went 5-0.
No.
Wow.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Because Spurs have the highest win percentage in like the last 3 years or whatever, right? Wow. Well, let's beat that record.